All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. It has been a while. I'm sorry it's been so long. We just had some family stuff going on, and I had to take some time off. So I'm back. For those of you who have subscribed for the Motor Guide review on the Motor Guide Pro Tour, I will be getting that out here shortly. That'll be the 1 year review. So anyways, the reason why I'm back is I kind of wanted to do like a live reaction to the walleye thing that just happened. I'm a big time bass fisherman, so the walleye thing's new to me. I know they have the tournaments. I did a little bit of research on this before I watched this. I've seen some snippets of this on TikTok, and I haven't seen the full thing. I just kind of went into YouTube and tried to look up the full video that they have. And I kind of fast forward it because I was kind of watching through some of the other anglers that had weighed in prior. I don't know if this is a 1 day event, 2 day event, or I'm not sure. It does look like they're weighing in like I think around 5 fish, so kind of like a bass tournament. Um, so I'm getting to the part to where the guys that cheated are coming up to the stage. I've got the um, sound turned off on your end, but it's on my end so I can hear it. Like I said, I've only seen like little bits and pieces of the end of it with the through TikTok and stuff, so I haven't watched the full thing, and I kind of wanted to watch the full video. So just kind of bear with me. There's about 5 minutes here, so let's just go on through it. So there came in second through the Fat 5, which I don't know what that is. 790 for the big fish. Not bad. Like I said, I fish bass, so while I can kind of put the bass to shame sometimes because they get pretty big. 33.91. I'm not, so like I said, I only fish bass tournaments, so I'm not 100% familiar with how high the walleye weights get. I know I've caught some walleye that are just giant by accident, so I can only imagine. So 33 doesn't mean anything to me right now since I don't know that much about walleye. I've already heard a guy saying, dang, 33, huh? So has he got a partner? I'm assuming this is a partner tournament, right? Okay, there's two of them. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought there was. So they're coming up getting their picks. Yeah, I mean, they've got the biggest bag so far. And I don't even think they needed that much weight to win. It sounded like they needed 16 pounds. I think they might even just have that in general. So that's what the strange thing is about it. And they're the last ones to weigh in. I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but I tell you what, every time I fish a bass tournament, there's always that guy that has a big bag and he's waiting till last to like weigh in, and it kills me. So many times I've been like leading it, and then it comes down to like the last two guys and they got the biggest bag, and it's like, oh my gosh, dude, just weigh in first so I know where I'm at. But anyways, let's keep rolling. So there goes one of his buddies walking away, kind of. I'm not sure what's going on there. And I don't know if this is like maybe a guy from the crowd coming out. I don't know if maybe he's part of the crowd or he's just part of the tournament stuff side of things. I don't know. So it looks like they got their picture taken. I think they thought they were done. I heard somebody yell his name, Jake. I don't know what's going on here. So there's a lot of people saying no way at 33 pounds. A lot of vulgar language, but hey, it is what it is. So it looks like he's going to get rechecked, maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm assuming because the whole controversy and how they got caught. So they're obviously going to get checked. So I'm going to kind of go forward a little bit here. Okay, so tournament director's going through the bag right now. And I did read through some of the comments too. And I've seen some mixed reviews on like how people reacted to how the tournament director acted, but I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I did see a snippet of it on TikTok, and then I saw like the very end of it. Looks like he's going through the fish. I don't know. Yeah, people in the crowd are saying there's no way they had that many. One guy said something about you had bigger fish. They were the same size. I don't know how they weighed more. So somebody said, are they cutting it open? And I don't know. Make a comment below. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know that much about walleye tournaments, like I said. But I know in bass fishing, you weigh in your best 5, obviously. Or it's a score at the end of the day, like MLF style. So when we weigh ours in, they have to be alive or there's a penalty. So I'm assuming, and the walleye that they like held up there, they didn't look alive, but I don't know. I did read a little bit about how sometimes they donate walleye to different like food organizations and stuff. So I'm assuming they probably harvest the walleye after the tournaments, but I'm not 100% sure. So just leave me a comment below if you know. I mean, if you fish walleye tournaments and what your practice is with that. But anyways, let's keep going. There he's cutting it. Yep. Wow. Wow. So they found a weight. I'm assuming it's like an egg sinker or something in a fish. I don't know how big it is. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, one thing too is like how the tournament director's acting. Like, I mean, you got to be somewhat realistic. I mean, this guy, he's running this outfit. It looks like he might be. I mean, maybe he's not. I'm assuming he is since he's the one doing the announcing and stuff. But to me, that's just like how passionate he is about his sport and his organization. Because I don't know, it's really tough because when you're really passionate about something and you have a lot of time into something, you know, and somebody does something like this, that to me is a natural response. And I, you know, as long as he's not like throwing punches at the guy, which I'm sure it took a lot to hold back on that. I think that reaction is totally legit. I mean, I probably would have had the same reaction to it, to be honest. All right, let's keep going here. Okay, so here's the funny part. So, oh my gosh. So I'm assuming that him and his buddy, they must have been doing this together for a long time. Not cheat. I don't know about cheating. I'm sure it's happened. I'm sure they've got away with it multiple times, it seems like. But when you're with somebody for a period of time, like these guys, so I don't know their history. I don't know anything about these guys. But if you guys are stuffing weights down fish, most of the time is going to come from some type. I feel like you have like a pretty good relationship with your partner that somehow you've come to this agreement that this is what you're going to do. And the funny thing is you've got this guy up here taking all the heat, but where's his partner at? Like if this happened to me and my buddy was just off in the truck, oh, and I was having to sit here and listen to all this. Holy smokes. We'd be done being friends by tomorrow. I mean, I figured if I'm going to go down, we should both go down. But and you can't play the side of saying, "Well, I didn't know that he did it." I mean, come on. I mean, I'm not saying that's what's happening, but it's kind of sucks that he has to go through this by himself. I mean, I'm sure his buddy's probably at the truck or something getting yelled at, but he's up here all alone, and it's crazy. But here's the other thing too, is like the thing I would have done Let me keep playing this out, and I'll kind of. So there's still kind of, I mean, obviously there's a lot of language going on, but everybody's passionate about this stuff, man. Like we don't. It's fishing. There's no room for this. Everybody is. So the thing is like when I fish tournaments, like bass tournaments, I do a lot of just local stuff. I don't do anything at the professional level. I wish one day I could, but who knows. But when I'm working during the week and I go to put up my some of my paycheck to compete in these, and you have somebody like this that cheats, it makes it. I mean, this is a to me this is a normal response to this because you don't know how long they've been doing it, for one. Two, you've probably worked. I mean, you probably work full-time jobs and you're doing this on the weekends. I don't know. And at a professional level, which I think this is kind of like professional level, I'm not sure. You know the rules. You know the amount of money that's going into it with, hotels, gas for the truck, gas for the boat, lures, maintenance, all that stuff. And then you get guys like this that just completely, you know, cheat and they were gonna win. I mean, I don't know how much weight you can stuff in those fish, but it sounds like they might have been in the top 5 anyways, even without the weights in there. So that's just ridiculous in itself because at that point you're just kind of getting greedy. Like you just want to blow the competition out of the water, but now look where you're at. You've pretty much lost everything. So I don't know. This is crazy. So they're talking about the other guy too. Go get him. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so the video ends there. So I have seen the last bit where the tournament director tells them that he needs to leave. Um, so I think that was a perfect response. There were some people yelling to call the cops. I definitely would have probably called the cops. Probably definitely got the DNR involved, obviously, and kind of went from there to kind of see where we're at with this situation because this is kind of a hard tournament thing. I mean, definitely probably going to be banned for life or something. But the thing is it's like I don't know. We've had this similar thing happen in bass fishing here recently. Not similar as far as like weights going into fish, but like people getting information before the actual tournament when they knew the rules about getting information. So that's cheating. I mean at that level, you should know the rules by heart and you still do it, but there hasn't been doesn't seem like there's been any consequences yet or anything that I've heard. I mean, I've heard of a couple things, but it doesn't seem like it's enough because you've got a ton of people who are still abiding by the rules, but here you're breaking them. Okay, and who knows how long you've been doing that? So it kind of makes me sick to the stomach to think about it. But anyways, the one thing I wanted to bring about is I think the tournament director did a great job. I think he said, nobody touched these guys. Perfect. The only other thing I would have done was maybe once this had settled down, get all the um, eyes turned away from them, bring second place up here, raise their hand like Bruce Buffer in the UFC and be like, here are your real champions right here, and just kind of got that going. But with so much emotion involved and stuff like that, it's hard to say what was going through his head. I mean, I don't even know what I would have been doing mentally if I was the director and that stuff happened. I mean, that's tough to see. I mean, you hear about it. This is the first time we've probably really caught it on live, and live action. Um, I mean, I've had tournaments in the past where, you have to release all the fish alive and you can look at the board and it'll tell you how many fish are dead and how many penalties there are. There was one time we had 0 penalties for dead fish and I went down to release my fish and there's 2 dead fish floating there. And I brought it up, but at that point, so many people had released fish that it's like nobody knows who they were. And it's kind of, it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Um, I think he did a great job. I mean, I feel like the tournament director did a perfect thing by letting them go back to their truck safely. He got his, got his words in, which, hey, you run that thing. I totally get it. But yeah, I don't know. At this point, it's just kind of sickening. I mean, it sucks because, anglers, we put a lot of time into this stuff, especially if you fish tournaments. And I'm not trying to like push back on people who don't do tournaments, but it's like, when you do tournament fishing, you're pre-fishing, on a consistent basis. You're always trying to get better. You want to do well in these tournaments, and then you get stuff like this, and it just really does suck. But luckily they were caught. Who knows how long they've been doing it, but luckily they were caught now. But anyways, guys, that was kind of my live reaction to this. It's sad. Unfortunately, it does happen in our sport. I'm sure this organization is going to rise above it. I think they did a great job with what happened in that circumstance. But hey, it does happen. And unfortunately, it does seem like it takes away from our sport a little bit, but it is what it is. As anglers, we'll all rise above this together, and it'll be fine. So anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing if you're subscribed. Like the channel if you liked what you saw, and I will try to get more stuff out here, especially with the motor guide review. And I appreciate everything, guys. Thank you.